Today, we are invited to consciously break free of any chains that have held us captive, any thoughts, any notions, any ideas, any feelings, any relationships that have kept us captive, any fear, any doubt, self-consciousness that has kept us imprisoned. We're going to do that through the ritual of the white stone. The white stone is a symbol of freedom. We read from the book of Revelation. Let's put the scripture up there from the book of Revelation. There we go. Let's read it together. To those who win the victory, I will give each of them a white stone on which is written a new name. You've won the victory. You're here. You're breathing. You're alive. You're enthusiastic. You're aware of who you are. We just came through Christmas where Christ was born anew in our mind and our heart. Something good was recognized once again. And then we got rid of the stuff in the burning bowl. So you have already won the victory because you've taken the steps necessary. Today, we celebrate that. In ancient times, when a prisoner was released from bondage, when a slave was released from any bondage whatsoever, they were given two things. First and foremost, a white stone as a symbol of that freedom. And when they were walking their life free from anybody's enslavement, and they were questioned and asked, are you really free? Prove it. That white stone came out, and they held that white stone and say, I know who I am. I am free. I belong to myself. I am responsible. And within that stone was a new name. Scripturally, name is more accurately interpreted as nature. A new nature, a new way of being, a new way of expressing the Christ of my essence. I am no longer associated with the slave name or the name of the person who I was when I went into prison. I have come out of that prison to be a new expression of light, of love, of peace, of harmony, and 1,000 other divine ideas that are expressing at the point of you. Today, you're going to claim your white stone. I'm asking you to claim your white stone as you break free from any limiting ideas that have held you captive, and you're going to give yourself a new name. Jesus asked us. He asked us to pray in his name. He asked us to live our lives in his name, which means in his nature. And so the challenge and the gauntlet being thrown down today is to raise the vibration at which you are operating. It may have been really high on 2018. There's more of you to discover. There's always more of you to discover, to uncover, to be, to express, and to experience. And so I'm saying today, take it up a notch. As you step into 2019 fully and completely, take it up a notch. Now the thing about freedom is you're free. The grace of freedom, the ability to make up your own mind and to choose the path that you want to take. What a beautiful gift that is, let it not be taken for granted. The thing about freedom, it's a process and one that we need to take part in order to maintain it. I love our fifth unity principle, which basically says the truth you know is the truth that you demonstrate. The truth that you know is the truth that you live. The truth that you are holding on the inside must be acted upon. And if your spiritual path is one of sitting in a cave somewhere, hoping that life will transform, you need to get busy. You need to put your body behind your prayers. You need to put your body behind your dreams and your visions. And so today is about activity. This means we take full and complete responsibility for our freedom. We take the gift of grace, which is our ability to choose the life that we want, and we grab it, we know it, we embrace it. We take freedom, we create it, we speak it, we claim it, and we act upon it. You see, the grace of God is forever moving. Do you know that? That grace, that energy of the infinite presence of our divine source is forever moving in the direction of the greater good. But we must get into the river. We must consciously be aware that we are in a stream to the ocean, and we will get to the ocean. That means activity. That means putting my body behind it. Because this infinite presence, this river that we call God, will not interfere with your process. That's an old idea, an antiquated idea that it says, oh no, let me guide you, Carrie. Let me guide you, Nancy. You're going off course, or you're okay, so I'll just give you a little nudge. It's all it knows is to nudge you to your highest good. And we're either cooperating with that divine flow or we're not. So today it's about being conscious to get into the flow and cooperate with the energies that are moving to the highest and best life that you could ever imagine. Grace has been given a bum rap. And here at Unity North, we don't criticize other religions because they have done great good on the planet. But let's define grace through the lens that we're looking through today. I think grace has been given a bum rap. And there's a whole bunch of people, and I was one of them at one point, that believed that grace was God became a man and took on all of my responsibility so that I could be cleansed and purified of my past mistakes, my past errors, my error thinking, and took care of it. I can wash my hands of any responsibility. That's not what grace is. Grace is the ability that you can choose again. You fell down right there. And grace is the ability to get back up again and say, I choose differently. I choose to look at the past with love and to step forward into my future with an awareness that that mistake has taught me something. That mistake has created a possibility in me that I will now live from. I will contextualize my life in 2019 by a greater awareness of the magnificence. That's what grace is. And so today we have an opportunity for you to move. We have a gateway of transformation, as I call it. We have 3 of them, actually. Looking at the crowd today, we might need 4, but I know that we're not going to have a repeat of 2016 where we made Atlanta traffic look really good in here. So we're going to ask you all to cooperate in a moment when we come through these gateways as a ritual to get your white stone. And so I want to welcome anybody who's here for the very first time into the energy of transformation, into this community, into our hearts, and into this beautiful day. As the ushers are coming forward, they have a flower. That flower is a beautiful symbol, perhaps more powerful than any other Sunday. We're on a path of growing. We're on a path of becoming, stretching, and learning. And the most beautiful thing about being in a community is we're doing it together. We're leaning into each other. Attached to that flower is a tracking device. We'll be at your home before you get there. Just kidding. Linda, who's going to be signing today, is over here when I said that she's doing this. What just... She's probably not the only one. A little information about Unity North and what we're all about here. We want to get it into your hands. And then we'd ask if you are here for the first time, you just put your hand up really high so the ushers can find you. The rest of us are going to make a little bit of noise because we're so delighted that you are here this morning. Keep them up high. They'll come to you, I promise. Come on, Unity North. You can make more noise than that. Welcome to our hearts. Welcome to our community. Welcome to Unity North. You are loved here. Whoever you are and wherever you may be on your spiritual path, we understand that it's a divine appointment today. You're not here by accident. That we're all walking a different path up the same mountain and we're all going to the same place. And your path has crossed our path today. What a beautiful intersection of love, of Christ meeting Christ, and God happens in that intersection. If you have any questions about your experience today or about what I have to say, please see our New Beginnings team at the back of the room there by the kiosk, by the welcome table. They'd love to help you feel a little bit more welcome. Thank you for bringing your gift and your light into this space. And thank you, Julie Boniger, for reminding me that I forgot to do that earlier.
April got the flowers.
Through these archways, you're going to be invited to move consciously and actively, to move internally, to move externally, and to move intentionally to claim your white stone. You see, we don't just hand you the white stone when you come in, because that's like a metaphor of which is taken care of for you. No, you are participating in your freedom. You are participating in your transformation. You are participating in the change that's about to happen. And so you're going to be asked to come through these arches in just a moment. So what is a white stone? It is a symbol of grace. It is a symbol of the freedom that we have talked about, the freedom of choice, the freedom of decision, the freedom to choose the emotions that you choose. Most of all, it is the grace of remembrance. You're one moment away from remembering who you are. You're also one moment away from remembering who that person in front of you is beyond their behavior. It's easier to just judge them and be angry. No, you're one moment away. That's grace to go, I behold you as the Christ that you are, the light of the world, because I am no more than you. We belong to each other. That's what that symbol is, that rock is a symbol of. It is a grace that knows without reservation the words of Emerson, who said this. I'll put the quote up there and let's read it together with one powerful voice. Together, what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. When you stand at these archways and you make your way into that freedom, do so mindfully. Letting go of what has been behind you, no matter how difficult life might be, in this moment or in the past moment, leave it behind you. Because there is a power far greater than that history, and it dwells within you. Today is about discovering that, perhaps rediscovering that. It is being born again. Yep, I'm asking you to be born again and again and again and again. Every day you get up and you enter this beautiful, magnificent kingdom of heaven that we call earth. That you are being born anew with the remembrance of that stone that's going to sit somewhere in your house. Put it close to your bed. Don't let your feet hit the floor until you go, yes, I'm stepping fully into it. Where you're going, your dream, it may be huge and your knees may be knocking. The vision for your life may be completely overwhelming to you. But what lies within you is more powerful than what lies before you. You see, what lies all the way around you, 360, none of it. It's all of the material world. It has of no consequence because as the Christ, as the Spirit, as the source of the creation itself, it has no power except that you give it. And today we let it all go so that we walk through a gateway of transformation and claim the magnificence of our pure soul. You're being asked to energetically leave on one side of this arch who you have been so that who you have been pretending to be, so that on the other side you can become who you truly are. I want you to hear that. When you stand here, it isn't just, oh, the minister asked me to do a ritual, and there's a lot of people walking around, let me just get this over with. No. Don't bother doing it if that's the mindset behind it, because life is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. And the consciousness that you bring to this portal is vitally important to setting the direction for 2019. And the energies of God itself, life, the entire cosmos, is moving in proportion to the consciousness that you take through that portal when you get that white stone. So I encourage you to make it very, very conscious. The story I get to tell every year at this time, it's one of my favorite Bible stories. The story of the pool of Bethesda. And sometimes we get this image in our head that this pool is like this giant lake. Actually, in Jerusalem, the pool of Bethesda is a very small little man-made structure. It's there. I hear sounds. That's good. God is speaking. Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. But at that pool, supposedly in ancient times, the angels would come and they would stir the surface of the water, create ripples on the pond. And then all of a sudden it had healing properties. And the first person to make it to the water was the one who got healed. There was a crippled man there for 38 years. He defined himself by his inabilities. He would try to crawl to that pond every single time, and somebody would beat him to the draw. Well, Jesus came upon the scene. And Jesus is the presence of love, right? But Jesus didn't say, oh, you poor man. Here, let me hold you. Let me make it all better for you. He didn't say that. He didn't say, well, this sucks. Sucks to be you. No, what Jesus said is he asked the question, and we're about to enter a series coming up on the Socratic method. You use questions to get to the wholeness. Question yourself today. Do you want to be healed? Well, of course I do. Duh, I want to be healed. And then Jesus, in all the tough love that he could muster, in all the awareness of the good that was underneath the condition, he said, then take up your mat and walk. But I want to be a victim. I want to be defined by my victimhood, by what I can't do, because it feels so good to be held and nurtured. And he said, take up your mat and walk. For some of you, getting through these portals might be very difficult to do today. Standing for a long period of time might be difficult. And there are those that say, why don't you just make it easy for those people? Because I have a higher view of who you truly are. Where there is a will, there is a way. I do not define you as a Christ being looking into the face of Christ by anything that you have used as a limitation. My job is to hold you up to the highest and best of who you are. And your job today is to hold me and everybody else around you at that high place. And if you can't get through the arch, find somebody who can get it for you. But ask. Be proactive about claiming your freedom. That's grace. Be proactive about finding a way where there is no way. We like to sing the song, God will always find a way out of no way. So today, I'm not going to allow you a no way. because I'm holding you to a higher standard. What Jesus was saying to the man at the pool of Bethesda is right now stop defining yourself by any limitation and start defining yourself as the healthy, vibrant, abundant, and powerful being of light that you are, the veritable presence of Christ. I'm asking you to walk the same footsteps that the prodigal son walked. Another one of my favorite stories. Went off into a far-off land, rolling and eating with pigs. Your life may be as dark as that today, and for a Jew, that is the bottom of the barrel. And the scripture says the prodigal son came to himself. I remember who I am. And he begins the long journey back home. The journey back home starts with consciousness, starts with thought, starts with the view that you are holding. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your view of yourself. Be ye transformed by the renewing of the judgments that you have held against another person, and let the prison walls come down. Because you're putting yourself into a prison that is holding your Christ light from the full magnificence of what you were called to be. So just like the man at the pool, just like the prodigal son, no matter where you are in life or where you have been right now, walking through this portal, if you do it mindfully, that can all be erased. And you can step fully into partnership with the infinite presence of God. And if you hold that hand long enough, there is a way out of no way. And your life might be great. You may think, my life's already wonderful. I'm telling you that your life can get even more wonderful. Then you can become a servant and take the more, and give it more. Because that's the flow of the universe. There's more of you to give. You haven't discovered it yet. Walk through the portal and said, I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to serve at a higher vibration. Let me grab that stone and then go remind everybody else of the good that I know about myself is also true about them. When you come through these arches, find the stone. Don't just pick one up. One of them's calling you. We have the tiles from years past. We also have some stones. Some are big, some are small. Some of us are big, some of us are small. Some are jagged, some are perfectly round, some are oblong. Isn't it wonderful that the same freedom exists in all of them? The same freedom exists in all of us, regardless of our shape or size, because we are not defined by our physical circumstances, but by the magnificent light that we are.